Okay, so allied races. When the data mining happened, there was 4 sub-races that people found, which were Lightforged Draenei, Nightborn Elves, Void Elves, I think, and High Mountain Tauren. BlizzCon came around, and lo and behold, there's 2 more. For the Alliance, there's Dark Iron Dwarves, and for the Horde, there are Zandalari Trolls. I assume they didn't announce the Zandalari or put them in the, whatchamacallit, just because they hadn't announced the expansion yet, so they were kind of being hush-hush about what it was going to be. I'm gonna try survival. So they did something really cool, I think, with the allied races. And it's not a, you buy the expansion and you have the allied races. It's, you get a character, presumably to level 110, which is the current cap. And then you unlock the allied races through a series of quests in the game that shows how the allied races came to join where they joined. Because I know a lot of people, me included, figured that the Nightborn would join the Alliance, but here they are joining the Horde, which I'm pretty cool about because I was kind of bummed that they'd be on the Alliance before it was even announced. So supposedly they're not like a super long quest line, but they're enough to keep you entertained and enough to show how they joined. The High Mountain Tauren, I think, are probably going to be pretty obvious because the Tauren are already a part of the Horde. Same with the Dark Iron Dwarves. Dwarves are already a part of the Alliance. Nah, I don't think it'll take much convincing. Now, one thing that I was very scared about, and they kind of alleviated my fears in the Q&A earlier today. You will be getting more character slots on servers, which is good for me because I'm an alcoholic. And you will be getting 6 new character slots, 1 for each of the allied races. So that means if I wanted to, I could technically make an Alliance character on this server, but I think this is going to be primarily a Horde server. So I'll probably just have 13, or what do we have now? Up to now 12? So 6 more, so that's 18. The wheels are turning. I'll probably have like 15 characters or something on the server, 1 in each of the allied races, and all my other ones. All the Horde allied races, rather. And then the Alliance ones will be on the server with my Alliance characters. I have a lot of characters. It's a problem. And I really like that. In the beginning, I was hoping that, like, the High Mountain Tauren weren't necessarily going to join, but you just get more Horn options for the Tauren. But no, it seems like you're actually going to unlock them, and they're going to be another race you can pick at the character creation menu. And speaking of character creation, allied races start at level 20. They don't start at level 1. They start at level 20. I don't think they said if they start in... hey, Telebeam. I don't think they said if they start in... Like, if the High Mountain Tauren's going to start, like, in a Tauren location, or if it's going to have, like, its own little starting area or whatever. I highly doubt the latter. But I'm really glad that they're not just starting at level 1. Or I feel like they should start a little higher than 20, personally. But I also understand why they're not letting us make level 110 alts. That would be pretty fucking dumb, to be honest, even though that's somewhat what I expected. But whatever. Now, there was something very important on the slide that they showed. The wording was very important. And they mentioned it too. 6 allied races planned for launch, which they already have announced those ones, and more planned for later down the line. So I'm thinking that allied races might be what's replacing new races in the game. They seem to be like minimal work for the most part, seeing as we're getting 6 added at one time. Because they're all using existing like riggings and models and stuff, I guess, is the reason. I'm not a very tech savvy person, so I don't really know. But if I had to guess, that was the case. Or that is the case, rather. But in the vein of sub-races, allied races, I'm trying to get used to calling them the right name, they talked a little bit about more character customization options. And they said while that is something they have been wanting to do for a while and have not really been able to do, they are now able to do it for some reason, so we can expect more customization options coming. Not in 8.0, I think, but a little further down the line. But what we can expect in 8.0 is slightly different models for orcs in a way. Just gonna turn that off just in case. We're in Barrens, who knows what could happen in the chat. Oh shit, I forgot to select that or get that quest while I was there, damn it. I feel like I do that a lot. Orcs are going to have an option to be a straight-backed orc, which is really, really cool to me. They said that earlier today at the Q&A. I don't think they covered that in the panels, the announcement panels themselves, but in the Q&A somebody asked, and that's going to be the case. We're going to have straight-backed orcs playable. And it's going to be a barbershop option too, so you can take your existing orc, whatever, and make it a straight back. And you better believe that I'm probably going to do that, because I really like how Thrall looks. I can see it being different depending on, or me feeling different about it depending on the class that the orc is. Like if it's an orc warrior, I think I like the hunch look a little bit better, but if it's like an orc shaman like Thrall, yeah, maybe the straight back would look better. Depending on the spec even, like enhancement might look better hunched over, and elemental and resto might look better standing up straight. I think that's really cool, and I'm really glad that's getting added in, because that's actually something my cousin said he wanted to see added in. I don't know if trolls are getting like a non-hunchback model. I know the Zandalari aren't hunched back, but that's not the Darkspear. And I know some people wanted the Darkspear to not be hunchback, but trolls, for those of you who don't know, when standing up straight, are the tallest playable race in the game. When they're not, I think Tauren is, but trolls, they don't tower over Tauren, but they are stronger, or not stronger, they probably get snapped by it like a twig by a Tauren. They're taller than Tauren. So I don't expect to see straight back trolls, but maybe. That'd be pretty neat. I don't think I would do it. I kind of like the hunchback troll and the way they move more, but hey, some people might like it. But going back to the existing, or going to be existing allied races, I really like them all, and I feel like they're all really, really cool, but I'm really not 110% sold on the concept of the Void Elves yet. Now, I know what happens with Illyria, and I get that she's a Void Elf now, but I feel like Void Elves just look like Blood Elves on the Alliance. I don't really know how I feel about that. And I don't even know how I hope what they look like gets changed a little bit before Battle for Azeroth comes out. Because at the moment, I know they're like elite blood elves or whatever picked by Illyria or whatever their backstory was that I read earlier. But I feel like they should look just ever so slightly different. Because at the moment, from what I can tell, it looks like they just have different skin color. And supposedly they can go in and out of a void form, so I can't help but wondering if the out of that void form is just going to be a blood elf. And I personally don't want that. I love diversity in like playable races in video games, so I want them to look different, and I hope they have some unique effects. Like unique animations or whatever, or different jokes, different voices, whatever. Now pardon me for a moment. If you're watching this and not listening to it, you're going to see like a BRB mode thing pop up onto the screen. But I have a website that I need to pull up, and I'm hoping that I still have it open somewhere. I don't, but I know I sent it to my cousin, so I can pull that up. And what it is it's on the official like Battle for Azeroth website, and it shows like what classes the allied races can be, and I just want to cover them really quick just because I can. Now the ones they have listed, or the ones they don't have listed rather, are the Zandalari Trolls and the Dark Iron Dwarves, but I don't imagine those being much different than existing Trolls and Dwarves. I feel like they will be much the same. I actually can't think of any... No, I can't think of any, like, variations, possibly. Maybe I can see the Zandalari not being able to be monks. But beyond that, I don't really know. I feel like if that was the case, then the Dark Iron Dwarf shouldn't be able to be monks, just to even it out a little bit, but that... Maybe there's like something up at the top that I've missed where one of the races can't be monks. This is gonna be hard to do while doing this quest. So we're first gonna start with the Horde races. This was a dumb idea. I'm just not gonna be looking at what's going on. So first is the High Mountain Tauren, and I am going to read their little biography, I guess they have wrote here. Descended from Holn, brave hero of the War of the Ancients, the High Mountain Tauren honor the spirits of earth, river, and sky. Though the Legion invaded their lands and sowed seeds of distrust between them, the tribes of High Mountain stand united once more. At long last, they are ready to venture beyond their sacred mountain and stand beside their kin from Kalimdor, lending their nobility and strength to the mighty Horde. And the available classes for the High Mountain Tauren will be Druid, Hunter, Monk, Shaman, and Warrior. So it's not a very vast picking for the High Mountain Tauren. Now you're going to see the BRB mode pop up one more time, because I want to hit female really quick on the High Mountain Tauren and see if anything changes, because I didn't actually check that earlier. Nothing happened. Besides the picture changing to a female High Mountain Tauren, no, the classes do not change. So for the most part, it looks like there's not going to be any male-female class restrictions, which I guess was kind of a stupid thing to expect from World of Warcraft, because that's not really a thing. Thank God. I hate gender-restricted classes, but that's just me. I hate it because it ruins, or it dampens diversity. And next for the Horde is, am I disconnecting? No. Next for the Horde is none other than the Nightborn. Isolated behind the protective barrier for 10,000 years, the elves of Suramar grew increasingly dependent upon the arcane magic of the Nightwell. To protect this font of power, the leaders of the Nightborn struck a bargain with the Burning Legion that plunged their kingdom into civil war. After fighting for freedom from their demonic masters, the Nightborn seek allies in the Horde to help them reclaim their place in the world. And the available classes for Nightborn will be Hunter, Mage, Monk, Priest, Rogue, Warlock, and Warrior, of course. I personally will probably be playing a Nightborn Mage. Probably, at least. That seems like the best class for a Nightborn, in my opinion. I'm not entirely thrilled on the Nightborn models. I never have been. Hey, Mancrick. But I'm sure I'll get over it. Now for the Alliance. First on the list, we have the Lightforged Draenei. My throat's starting to go bad from all this talking tonight. For untold millennia, the Army of the Light waged war against the Burning Legion throughout the Twisting Nether. The Draenei most committed to their long crusade would undergo a ritual to become Lightforged, infusing their bodies with the very essence of the Holy Light. After finally achieving victory on Argus, the Lightforged Draenei have undertaken a new mission, protecting Azeroth from rising threats and helping the Alliance push back against Horde aggression. In the available classes for Lightforged Draenei will be Hunter, Mage, Paladin, of course, Priest, of course, and Warrior, of course. So another race that kind of has a limited class options, which I think is perfectly okay for, like, allied races and stuff. I don't need... Oh, hey, the Lightforged Draenei can't be, monks. Huh. So yeah, maybe the Zandalari won't be, monks to balance that out. And lastly, for the Alliance, are the Void Elves. Many have sought to harness the corruptive magic of the Void. Most who tried have fallen into madness. Determined to use this power for the good of Azeroth, Illyria Windrunner is the first mortal to succeed at defying the Shadow's whispers. Coming to the aid of a group of her kin who nearly gave in to the darkness, Illyria has vowed to train these Void Elves to control the Shadow within them and pledge their newfound powers to the Alliance. So I assume the quest you have to undertake to unlock them is going to kind of explain how they came to be. And the available classes for the Void Elves are Hunter, Mage, Monk, Priest, Rogue, Warlock, and, of course, Warrior. Not that it's a big revelation or anything, but I would like to point out that none of these classes are able to be Death Knights so far. And I don't think that'll change, because the only one that was really on Azeroth, or not Azeroth, on Kalimdor and the Eastern Kingdoms while the whole Lich King thing was going on would be the Dark Iron Dwarves. So maybe they'll be able to be Death Knights and that'll be unique to them. But who knows? That'd be pretty neat. That would make them a little more unique amongst the allied races. And then, of course, there's the Zandalari and the Dark Irons. It says, even more allies await in unexplored lands. As heroes of the Alliance adventure through Kultiris, they'll have a chance to recruit the Dark Iron Dwarves. In Zandalar, champions of the Horde can convince the Zandalari trolls to join them. So, nothing about their potential classes yet, but I'm feeling fairly confident that they're not going to differ too much from Darkspear trolls and normal dwarves. Now, they did say with more allied races planned later. So if I had to guess, we might get a few other types of trolls here and there. Probably some different orcs. Probably I can see a wild hammer happening. I don't really know what else the Alliance could really get, though. There is going to be the new Kultiris, like, human model, so maybe they could get, like, Kultirans as an allied race, which would be pretty cool, in my opinion. Give, humans a little more diversity. But beyond that, I don't know, but there's probably just people I'm forgetting. But for the Horde, I can also see the, like, Northrend Tauren also joining at some point if the expansion ever goes north, which I have a feeling it might. I feel like it's going to be a fight all across Azeroth, not just the two main continents, because, you know, we do have bases in the other continents as well. And I'd like to revisit some of them. Now, one more thing to say on the allied races. I think this has been the most organized video I've made tonight. When you unlock the allied races and you decide to make one and you decide to level it to 110, you will unlock, like, a set of cosmetic transmog gear that is specifically designed towards that subrace, allied race, but it's only available to that subrace. And a lot of them look like what you'd expect them to look like. You can find, at this point, all you probably have to do is look it up and you can find pictures of them. But like the Nightborn have like that very stereotypical Nightborn kind of armor. Lightforged Draenei have very stereotypical Lightforged Draenei stuff on. And High Mountain Tauren, go to High Mountain and you'll see the armor set out the wazoo. So they look very much like them, but like the Protection Tauren warrior that I'm leveling right now will not be able to use the High Mountain Tauren cosmetic gear. And I think that's fine, but I also feel like that's going to compel me to use the gear on those characters, just because they're the only characters they can be used on. But do not fret, because it looks like, for the most part, with the Zandalari cosmetic gear, it also looks like some of the leveling gear for the Horde will be kind of Zandalari themed, so the Horde might not be shit out of luck with it, or in regards to that, but for the Alliance, they might be kind of shit out of luck for their cosmetic gear for leveling. Not that their leveling gear does not look good, mind you, it looks fantastic, but it's not going to be like Zandalari themed, of course. But that's really all there is to say on allied races, I think. I think I covered that fairly well. I feel like how well received allied races have been is maybe putting a halt on potential future just like brand new races like ogres or whatever. Though I guess ogres could very easily just be an allied race. This really is their way of just adding new races into the game without adding new races into the game, I guess. I don't know. But you know, like the Horde could ally with the ogres and the Alliance could ally with people, Kultirans. I don't know. It's really weird. The Alliance has so few people they could call on. Unless I'm just forgetting. I don't know. But I think most of us, especially me, have kind of had their fill of you know, of speculation. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'm not going to speculate on potential future allied races right now. Maybe we'll see more in the future. I know they introduced like this cute little fox-looking race for the horde area, like the horde leveling zones. They look like little fox people, but they look like they're built over the model of a goblin. So it looks like they could very, very easily like just be thrown in as an allied race, and I kind of hope that happens. Again, I don't want to get into it because I'm just gonna get ridiculous, like allied Tol'vir, please, which would obviously never happen, because that would just be a nightmare and a half. But you know, it's a lot of possibilities from the allied races. I think this expansion just screams possibilities to me, and that is in no way, shape, or form a bad thing. The raids are looking pretty promising. Dungeons look pretty cool from what I saw. I actually kind of disconnected from the internet during when they were talking about dungeons because Comcast, and didn't get to see the whole talk on dungeons. I had to go back and kind of watch that, but I did get to queue in for turn. Oh my god, I'm having a stroke. Tune. Oh my god. Completely forgot that word for a second. I did get to tune in for the raid talk, and that looks the new raids fucking hype, man. That's gonna be great. So just like I'm gonna give my like final overall thoughts on everything while I go tame the pet that I wanted to get. Overall, when it was first shown, I was very nervous, I guess I should say, about Battle for Azeroth. And yes, there's a lot of new features coming. Some of them I don't fully understand yet, like the Heart of Azeroth thing. The Artifact Medallion. So yes, I'm still kind of cautiously optimistic about the, like some of the new features. But very few times has Blizzard let me down in the past, so I'm really, I'm hoping for the best. Once I saw like all the panels and stuff, my opinion changed very quickly from like initial worry to like I'm really excited to see how this all plays out. And I think it'll be good. I think if they go with these systems and like Warfronts ends up being really cool, and they don't just throw Warfronts out in 9.0 and like, you know, say it's God, I don't even know. Well, okay, like it doesn't have to be like a siege or whatever against the Horde or against the Alliance or whatever. It could be just against another enemy faction. You know, like, we're attacking the Naga or something or whatever. There's a lot of possibilities for that if it ends up being really cool. And it would be a way to, like, show these really epic battles without them necessarily having to build a huge epic questline about it. But even unlocking the Warfronts through questlines could be really cool. Almost like attuning to them, but not as ridiculous, but like, you know, oh, you worked through this quest line in the war campaign, which is what the new campaign thing's called. You can attack Stromgarde now. Or like, you can join the Warfront for Stromgarde. I think that would be pretty neat. And if they just continue that forward, just A+ Blizzard, 10 out of 10, would play again, will play again. Overall though, BlizzCon was a lot of fun this year. Poor Diablo. Not a single mention, I don't think, in the entirety of BlizzCon. Overwatch stuff looks cool. Moira looks cool, even though I don't really play Overwatch all that much. Alexstrasza and Hanzo look pretty neat in Heroes of the Storm. I'm really excited for the Kobolds and Catacombs expansion for Hearthstone. That looks amazing. And I think that was really all. Oh, how could I forget? WoW Classic. I can't believe I almost forgot that. I can honestly say that WoW Classic was not what I expected to be announced. And as somebody who started playing the game late Wrath and didn't really level a character all the way until Kata came out and all the old zones got changed around, I'm excited for Classic. I'm not gonna get like super into it. I don't want to, because I hear what raiding was like back in the day. I don't want to like get into the raiding in it or whatever. I'd like to do dungeons, and I would like to see all the old zones. Like I just think it's really cool. I can't help but wonder if it's going to be like vanilla through Wrath of the Lich King. That's going to be like the WoW Classic thing. So like kind of before some of the zones got all switched around and whatever. I'm sure some people just want it to be vanilla because, you know, oh, I bet you didn't even play in vanilla stuff, but I don't know. I think maybe it would be possible. I don't know how hard it would be because I'm not a developer, but maybe it would be possible for them to have a server dedicated to vanilla, a server dedicated to Burning Crusade, and a server dedicated to Wrath of the Lich King. Whatever your favorite flavor of ice cream is, to use whoever was announcing its analogy. That would be pretty neat, I think. Honestly, that wouldn't be bad for every expansion, I think. Just in case, like, oh, well, I really liked Kata a lot, so I want to play back when Kata was the main thing. That's not me saying that. That's a hypothetical person saying that. You know, that would be pretty neat, but I guess you can also kind of go on a private server for that, even though I don't really... I messed around on this is just rambling now. I'm done with the video. You can leave. I did kind of mess around on a private server a little bit, but it wasn't like a vanilla private server or Kata private server or whatever. It was like a custom kind of private server with, you know, max level 255 and custom playable races and like custom dungeons and whatever. I don't remember what the server was called. It wasn't my cup of tea, really. Knowing that the progression wasn't really progression, so to speak. I know that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but like knowing that I didn't feel like I was really working for anything, I guess. Even though that makes no sense at all. Like I was playing as a Naga hunter, you know? As cool as that was, I wasn't playing World of Warcraft. You know, I was playing somebody's vision for World of Warcraft, which is perfectly fine, and it was neat playing as a Naga, but there was also this weird leveling road thing, which I wasn't really all that into. So I don't know. Where's this guy going? I don't know. That was just a slight little bit of rambling. I'm sorry. Can I tame him? I can if I want, but I don't. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you giving my just horrible videos a shot. And I will see you probably when there's more stuff to cover on Battle for Azeroth, and hopefully I'll get beta access pretty early so I can make some videos on it too, if there's no NDA, which I don't think there usually is. So that'll be fun. I'm going to try to cover it a little bit because I've always wanted to cover a game. And since World of Warcraft is a game that is very near and dear to my heart, and Battle for Azeroth has me decently excited, I'm pretty pumped to try it. Just here's hoping, like, obviously all the big name YouTubers or whatever are going to get in before me, but here's hoping I get in at the same exact time. It's my time, Blizzard. Let me have my time. So yeah, I will see you guys in probably the near future with some other kind of content, because this has been becoming far easier for me to do lately. So bye-bye, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in Azeroth. Probably not. Bye-bye.